Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. In the last episode, we brought an end to the evil deeds of Team Aqua, facing off against their biggest mistake possible, the resurrection and primal reversioned Mega Kyogre, in an all-out battle that would decide the fate of the world. If we won, the world would be saved and return to the way it was before Kyogre's rage. If we had lost, the world would be flooded to the point of all life being erased, returning the world to the beginning, before life ever existed. Thankfully, with the help of Team Aqua, Team Magma, and our friends Steven, May, and the 8th Gym Leader Wallace, we were able to save the day, quelling Kyogre's wrath, and adding the once dangerous Pokemon to our collection, all in one fell swoop. But with peace now restored to the Hoenn region, it's finally time we continue our gym challenge in the Elite Four that is surely waiting for us in the days to come. So, with that being said, it's finally time for us to take on Wallace, the Water-type Master, and final gym leader of the journey that's at hand, all taking place in the city of origin known as Teutopolis. So, honestly, with that being said, here we are. And technically, this is actually a gym leader that actually changes depending on the game you're playing. Not in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, mind you, but in the original games, it was either in Ruby and Sapphire, you either had Wallace, or in Emerald, you actually had Hoenn, which was, I believe, his master, which was basically the person that taught him to be a gym leader. And then in Emerald, he would also be the actual champion of the Elite Four, which is actually pretty cool. Obviously, by the fact that he is a gym leader here, I think that kind of confirms that he's not the champion of the Elite Four in this game, but it is a cool little Easter egg between the two games when it comes to, well, 3 games, but technically both Ruby and Sapphire are very similar, except for the main villains, I guess you could say, and the Pokemon that you get at the end, but honestly, for the most part, they are very similar. But honestly, with that being said, we're finally here, and we're finally ready, so let's definitely see what's going on here. Teutopolis City, Pokemon Gym Leader, Wallace, Artist, and Lover of Water. And honestly, technically, not just a water-type gym, mind you, either. Even though it says water, he is, well, at least Hoenn. Hoenn was a water-ice-type gym, to be completely fair. But, Wallace, yeah, I guess you could say he's more water-type than what it was in Emerald, because Hoenn's gym, he actually gets a Whaleren, which Whaleren is far from a easy Pokemon to fight. So, I'm definitely going to be honest, it's definitely good we're not facing off against Hoenn, or at least during the gym rematches. Hoenn would get a Whaleren later on. So, because we're not playing anything to do with Emerald, we don't have to worry about that, but still though, it's definitely something to bring up. But honestly, yeah, for Wallace, he's definitely going to have a different team. I believe they have similar Pokemon for 3 of them, but other than that, the rest of their Pokemon are completely different. But definitely a pretty cool, difference to gyms and stuff, because there's not many gyms that are actually, multi-gym leaders, where they change over the course of different games, or just for Emerald and Ruby, and, just basically like a reboots to the story for them to change like that. It does happen, but it's not very common. But honestly, with that being said, here we go.
Oh, yo, how's it going, TFW Spooks? Teutopolis' gym leader, Wallace, is a master of water-type Pokemon. As you make your way to Wallace, the icy floor will hamper your progress. Just between you and me, walk on each floor panel just once. That's the trick. Be careful, and go for it.
Okay, so that's another reason why I also say Ice-type gym, because of the puzzle here. And also forgot I even had a repel on. But, yeah, how this puzzle works is you have to walk along the path and actually solve it by not retracing your steps. So basically, that would be the answer. But because we're obviously going to go down the bottom area, let's definitely go about breaking that real quick. Since there's no reason for me not to, because extra trainers is always good. So let's definitely go for our trainers first before we go about trying to solve that real quick. But as we saw, that was the obvious answer there. Those kinds of puzzles, I don't know why, but I'm decently good at them. I don't know why, though. Gliding across the ice in a single graceful line. A trainer who can do that is elegant and beautiful. Well, thanks. We actually did solve that, so technically that actually would be her answer to us. But because we forcefully broke the puzzle on purpose, well, technically not, but still, though, that is kind of funny or interesting to hear. Also, forgot we actually had grass type on Cindy here. Forgot I threw on magical leaf through leveling and stuff like that, just in general, and I forgot if it was a TM or leveling at this point, but honestly, completely forgot we had magical leaf. So this will actually be pretty good for anything we deal with inside of this gym, other than, going straight for the easy answer and going with Caesar the whole way, because I want to not have to completely rely on Caesar, and that's a Wailord. Okay, well, Wailord's not bad, but honestly, Wailord is pretty tanky, so could survive a decent amount if it wants to. But honestly, another magical leaf should be perfectly fine. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's going Amnesia, it's trying to boost its stats, but the thing is it's not going to be fast enough to really be able to make use of those stats, because, yeah, I'm pretty sure magical leaf will be more than enough to knock him down. Yeah, sorry there, buddy. Gotta try harder than that if you want to win. But 3,000 experience for both Pokemon. Not bad. Not bad at all. And like I promised in the last one, I went back and did the Kyogre fight and caught it without the Master Ball. So now we actually do have Kyogre, and we still have our Master Ball that we had to end up using in the last one. So we still have use for it later. It's just that, unfortunately, well, in order to not have to redo the fight in episode, I had to use it, so I thought it'd be easier for you guys. But honestly, having to recatch it was definitely a little time consuming. It wasn't that bad, but it was definitely, something I had to do before setting up today's episode, so it was, took a little bit of time to do. But honestly, not too bad. But, well, excuse me. Excuse you indeed, I guess. Sorry for making you feel like you need to be excused. But honestly, this should, yeah, I was thinking that we could easily go up the stairs and go fight all our trainers before going back to our puzzle, which is really nice, since they don't force you to break the ice on every area, which they could have done that. The Pokemon Gym of the highest level in the Hoenn region. That's the Sootopolis Gym. That is true. It is definitely the highest gym here. But, honestly, not the hardest gym, depending on who you ask. But honestly, would definitely, for the challenge that we're currently doing, obviously it's the hardest gym in the region. But honestly, for the most part, when it comes to gym leaders in other regions, I definitely feel like there is harder gym leaders, for sure. Well, honestly, technically, I guess you can't really say Giovanni from Kanto is that bad, but still, though, he's pretty strong. He is a normal type gym leader, technically, and also sorry for that extra sound in the background there, because I accidentally hit my hand on the table for a second. But honestly, yeah, Giovanni's technically a normal type gym leader, but he uses multiple different Pokemon. But normally you would think a normal type gym wouldn't be that bad under normal circumstances. I should teach you how harsh battles can be. And technically he's not the only 8th gym leader of Kanto either, because he's one of the gyms that actually changes depending on the game you play too. But not in the original games, but when it came to Johto and Kanto, for when you had the fact of being able to go to the Kanto region in the Johto games, well, he would be a completely different gym leader when you go back and do the second gym challenge, which is pretty cool. I always thought that was interesting to have a second gym challenge in a game. I don't get why they didn't do that again, because the thing is where Scarlet and Violet takes place, well, the X and Y region's like right there. It's like right above it. So I never understood why they didn't let you go and rematch the X and Y gym leaders. It could be, you know, a fact because, like I said before in an earlier episode, these are recorded before the DLC for, you know, Scarlet and Violet, so they could do that, but I highly doubt it with where they're going in the DLCs, so honestly, I would doubt that X and Y would appear, but it would be cool that if they did do, you know, a rematch thing there. But honestly, not really sure if we'll ever see another one of those rematch gym leaders where you can go to the other region and do like a completely different story with rematches to the gyms and stuff, because that was pretty cool in my opinion. I trained my Pokemon with Wallace. Don't think I'm a pushover. Okay, so this is the strongest trainer in the gym then, basically, is what she's saying. But Starmie's not bad at all. But I wouldn't say that I'm terribly scared of Starmie, to be fair. So, honestly, Magical Leaf should be decent there, yeah. That's not bad at all. Rapid Spin, okay, it's just trying to break off any kind of, like, spikes or poison spikes on the floor, so, honestly, yeah, you're not going to do much here. But, not a bad move if we were doing setup stuff, but we aren't doing any of that, so, sorry there, Starmie, but you're down for the count with, little to no problems whatsoever. But honestly, not too bad. We got a couple levels for everybody here before we even get up to Wallace, which is pretty good in the end. I was bowled right over. You definitely were, with this, especially with the fact that you're trying to get rid of entry hazards, even though we weren't using them. The sight of Wallace conducting a battle, the very beauty of it, compelled me to become a trainer. Okay, well, let's see what you got on you. So, Lady Brianna, with a Clamperl. Not a bad Pokemon, although it's a pre-evolution of something we just recently fought, with the Gorbis and the Huntail, but something we can literally catch right outside of Sootopolis City, since the little dive area right next to Sootopolis, well, is where you can actually catch one of those, or at least underwater just in general, but it is, you know, how you catch one of those things. But honestly, not too bad. And then poor Corsola without its evolution in the newer games. Sorry there, buddy, but no Cursula for you, so sorry there. If you had a Cursula, you would definitely be eating pretty good right now. But, yeah, sorry there, but you're done for. You battled me with more beauty than I could muster. Well, I'm sorry for that, I guess. But down they go. Okay, now all our trainers are out of the way. Let's go make our way back up. Since now we're perfectly ready to go... Oh, never mind, actually, we have another one. I completely forgot about you. Because you can see a trainer when you're first walking in, and I'm pretty sure this is the trainer that you could see while you're making your way up into the gym in the first place. I'll show you the sublime techniques I learned from our leader, Wallace. Okay, what kind of sublime teachings did he give you? Ludicolo. Okay, Ludicolo's not bad. So Magical Leaf is not going to work here, because that Pokemon is a grass type. So, well, water grass, to be fair, so honestly, just probably going to be best to just go Psychic here. Just try to do a decent amount of damage. Going Waterfall. HM we don't actually have, so technically a small little sneak peek of our final HM in the game, because, well, that is the final HM. But, yeah, definitely not going to be enough to take out Cindy. Got close, but honestly we were already pretty low on HP to begin with. I'm sorry, Wallace. Well, you definitely are sorry to the wallet that we have, because that $672 is pretty bad for a gym this late in the game. But honestly, here we go. Now to actually solve the puzzle. But honestly, it's not a hard puzzle as long as you know what you're doing. That was not my fault, I'm gonna be honest. I went up, and because I'm not using the D-pad, I ended up going the wrong direction completely because of the fact that I was not actually trying to go diagonal there. Okay. Well, now I just gotta make sure the D-pad actually, you know, concentrates this time, because sometimes the D-pad does not immediately go where you want it to go. So, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this one... I believe the puzzle is you want to go like this first, and go all the way around like that. Go back up, go all the way over here, go on down, like so. And then you want to go right, you want to go up, left, right, all the way up, left one down, left all the way over, up one, and then right two, just like that. Okay, not too bad. There is 2 more trainers here, so we'll definitely have to need to take them down too. But honestly, we'll go the safer option and go via the right side real quick, just to make sure that is over and done with, so we don't need to worry about it later. But let's definitely go about trying to get all the ice here first before we worry about that. I think what we want to do here is go up like... Okay, yeah, I got it. Over to here, and then we can break all the ice over there, and now we can take on our trainer. You came all the way here, but you won't get to see Wallace. Not if you lose to me, you won't. Well, that's what you think. But honestly, what do you got for us, Lady Chrissy? A love disc. Really? Okay. Okay. That's, the farthest thing from scary, because this thing really doesn't have any stats to be a real, useful Pokemon in a single battle, but it's good in double battles, but that's pretty much it. But, okay. Nice try, but, you gotta try harder than that. Ooh, X-Scissor. I didn't even realize we were getting X-Scissor there. That's actually really good to swap into. Okay, you know what? Get Fury Cutter out of here, because X-Scissors just double damage immediately, so although you can build up with Fury Cutter, it's better to have, something a little bit stronger on a Pokemon like Ninjask, just so you don't have to worry about building up because it's a glass cannon. But Seadra, now that's a Pokemon we do kind of want to be careful of, but honestly, not a majorly dangerous Pokemon. I believe it is part dragon right away, so I think we can go Draining Kiss. Let me make sure of that. I think we're definitely in the right there. No, it was Glass Cannon. Okay. I always thought that. No, it's Kingdra, I think, is that when it officially turns into a water dragon. But honestly, I was a little careful there, just in case. You're strong. I was fooled by your cute looks. Thanks, I guess. But, honestly, kind of out of nowhere, I'll be honest. But let's definitely go about this like... Let's see here, like that. Okay. Now that we got that down, first things first is making sure we break this ice here. And then, slowly but surely, make our way over to where we want to be. Let's make sure that we don't leave any ice unbroken, though, since this is entirely based off of making sure that you break the right ices and stuff like that. Before we actually mess up here, let's go about it a certain way here, so we don't have to worry about making our way back or any of that. But wait for her to turn around for a second. Well, she kind of messed me up there, but I guess we can work with it. When I gaze upon Wallace, time flies by before I can say oops. Okay. Well, good for you, I guess. Pokefan Marisa. And she's got an Azumarill. Okay, not a bad Pokemon. Although very tanky Pokemon by the end of the day. So, I don't think it has much special defense, but I'm not entirely sure on that. We could go Magical Leaf, but I want to make sure that thing goes down, because it can hurt if you let it. So, ended up working with the Psychic there, but I was thinking it wasn't going to work for a second, but it looks like I was pretty much right, but it was a critical hit, so there's no real way to know for sure if that was what did it. But down goes Marissa pretty quickly. Oops. Oops indeed. But, now that we got you out of the way, now we're completely good here. Let's definitely make sure we don't mess up on the ice, though, because the ice is definitely something we want to make sure we do correctly, because it's literally something you need to do correctly if you want to get to where you're going. So just go nice and slow, and just like that, solved it in 1-in-1. Not too bad. But there's Wallace. Okay, now that we're at Wallace, it's definitely about preparation for actually doing our fighting. We're full HP, But do we want to go straight in like this, though? Honestly, good question. I'm going to say we can swap it up a little bit. Let's go into Jane to start. Let's do a knockout immediately, I think. Would be a good start here. But here we go. Hello, Wallace. Long time no see. Now that we've saved the world, I think it's perfectly time to take you on.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Wallace, gym leader of Sootopolis City. There's something about you, difference in your demeanor.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I think I sense that in you. What happened inside Cave of Origins, and what you did there. Our upcoming battle will make that all clear. Now show me the power that you wield with your Pokemon. And I, in turn, shall present you with performance of illusions in water. By me and my Pokemon.
Okay, well, here we go. Also, I believe he's also a contest character. So, or a character that does contests. So if you're wondering why he did all those poses, I think that's actually a reason for it. But, I think I am remembering that correctly. I don't know if he's one in this game, but he is definitely a character that does contests in the... Well, it says it in the anime and stuff like that, but that's been a long time ago. But for the most part, well, yeah, he definitely is. But, honestly, Love Disc was not exactly what I was expecting to be his first Pokemon, but he does have 5 Pokemon, though. So, honestly, Gig Impact would be a smart idea immediately. So, knock out the Love Disc, since we're going to be swapping out anyways, since we lost our turn after this. Oh, okay. That's an interesting Pokemon to immediately go into. We're going into Caesar then, because this is the Pokemon we don't want to play around with. Miltic is a Pokemon I actually kind of fear, because Miltic can be a Pokemon that can severely slow down a fight immediately, and it can actually hurt. So, yeah, we do need to be careful here, because this is actually his ace in the hole. So, yeah, we want to be very careful around this Miltic here. Normally, if you're dealing with Hoenn in Emerald, well, Hoenn doesn't have a Miltic, so you don't need to worry about that. But Hoenn gets a Whaleren, so, yeah, definitely a Pokemon you don't want to be messing around with too much. You want to be very careful around Pokemon like Miltic. Thankfully, we have Caesar, but that could have been very bad very quickly. But for a very tanky Pokemon that, well, this Pokemon is, I'm surprised we were able to knock it down pretty quickly, because that Pokemon has a lot of special defense from what I remember. But here we go into a Celio. I think we're safe to keep out for now. Caesar's pretty tough for the most part, so I think Caesar will be good. Just don't want to get hit too much with ice beams and stuff like that, but honestly, outside of that, we should be fine, since we should do some decent damage. And this is a perfect Pokemon for us, since Wishcash is a water ground type. So, sorry there, buddy, but this is going to be a knockout for you. But, for other Pokemon that Hoenn would use, I believe Hoenn uses a... Let me remember here, because it's very specific. I believe Hoenn uses a Kingdra, and he also uses a Crawdaunt, is the specific different Pokemon between their two fights in Ruby and Sapphire when it comes to the first two, and for Wallace. So Wallace would have this team, I'm pretty sure, the exact same team. But the difference with Hoenn and Emerald is that he has Crawdaunt and a Kingdra over Wallace's Miltic, and I'm trying to remember what the other Pokemon would be. I believe it is the No, it's the Sea King, I'm pretty sure, actually. Yeah, the Sea King and the Miltic get swapped out for the Crawdaunts and the Kingdra on Hoenn's team. Definitely a different team when it comes to Kingdra being super, super deadly. And, well, with Miltic also kind of being that way too, but still though, the trade-off between the two, I'd rather be dealing with a Miltic than a Kingdra by any means, I'm gonna be honest there. But, Definitely quite a difference between a Crawdont and a Seeking, though. I will have to be honest there. Down goes Wallace pretty quickly, honestly.
Bravo!
Bravo indeed. We're definitely needing one of those for sure. After what we just did with the Miltic, though. I was not expecting to burst through that thing as quickly as we did. Because, although we were a couple levels over it, Miltic has a decent stat pool and special defense. So, us breaking through that pretty quickly was pretty good, honestly. And I don't even think he popped any of his hyper potions either, so we got rid of him pretty quickly, honestly, compared to what I thought was going to happen.
I realize now, your authenticity and magnificence as a Pokemon trainer. I find much joy in having met you and your Pokemon. You have proven yourself worthy of the Rain Badge. Accept it. Having that badge assures you full of obedience of all your Pokemon to every command you make.
Well, that's good to hear. And there we go, the Rain Badge, the final badge of our Hoenn adventure, since there is no other badges to get.
And so you never forget the battle we shared. Here.
Ooh, and there's an HM05, being, I believe, the only time you ever get an HM from a gym leader. Because I don't believe that ever happens any other time, which is pretty cool, honestly. So that is pretty memorable, I'll be honest there.
The HM I have given you contains Waterfall. It allows you to smash into an opponent with the force required to climb a waterfall itself.
Including the one behind you, technically. We can't actually swim up that, but still, it is a waterfall.
Force required to climb a waterfall itself, yes, it is a mighty move. And yet it also has, a certain elegance. It can sometimes cause opponents to flinch. Now with the power of the Rain Badge, you'll become able to use this HM move. Waterfall to scale walls and cascade in water.
Well, that's good to hear, Wallace.
Many paths are open to you now. One path would take you to the Pokemon League. It is a goal that all trainers in the Hoenn aspire to reach after obtaining all 8 gym badges. If that is the path you choose, then you must find your way to the island, said to be the most remote in Hoenn, Evergrande. But if it is a different path you seek, and you would rather pursue Pokemon and complete Pokedexes, the rumors that reach me on the wind whisper Professor Birch and Littleroot has created a more powerful Pokedex. Visit him, obtain this new technology, and have a little doubt you will encounter more diverse Pokemon than ever before. I will hope that a bright future waits for you, whatever path it is you choose.
Well, thanks, Wallace. Anything else from you, or is that going to be what you say from here on out? Just curious. Yep, he is definitely repeating himself. Well, it was definitely good to definitely double check. But honestly, with that being said, only one place to go now. Back outside the gym, talk to our one buddy for the last time of our Hoenn region adventure, and, well, prepare for what will be the path to Evergrande and preparing for the Victory Road. So, here we go.
Oh, yow! You beat Wallace. It was supposed to be, the best of all Hoenn. Okay, check it out on your trainer card. If you've gotten all the badges, you're set for the Pokemon League challenge.
Yep, we definitely are. We can take a look at the outer thing real quick. If you're wondering the playtime we currently have, there's the playtime, but honestly, pretty cool. We got all of our badges, which is pretty cool to see. And I believe, well, there's also another thing you can do with these. I think you can also see their stats, I believe, too, if you were to go to a certain area. I just don't know how you do it. But basically, it will tell you what they like, what Pokemon they use, and stuff like that. It's basically like a trainer rematch, but it's, I believe you can't do anything with that until, like, after the game's over, since usually gym rematches don't happen until the end of the game anyways, so makes a lot of sense. But, honestly, with that being said, first things first is definitely healing our Pokemon before we even think about making our way for Evergrande. But honestly, second thing is let's go pay a visit to Birch real quick. Since, like Wallace said, there's a new Pokedex waiting for us, so honestly, first things first is getting the Eon Flute out now, and honestly getting right on to Latios, and, well, Mega Latios, we should say, since you fly on a Mega version of the Pokemon of the game. But honestly, let's make our way straight for Little Root real quick, since now that we don't have to go and throw Fly onto our party, technically, well, we have a new way of instantly going for a nice fly around the region without having to worry about pulling out any Pokemon, since Eon Flute definitely trivializes Fly. Although you still can use Fly to instantly go somewhere, but it's still pretty cool to be able to, you know, just throw out the Eon Flute, fly around the 3D world above the Hoenn, and just, you know, fly around, see secret Pokemon, like legendaries and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, honestly. Well, let's definitely grab this thing from Birch real quick.
Welcome back, Spooks. You must be tired after all the recent exploits. May has been keeping me updated about all your great adventures around Hoenn. After hearing all that you've been up to, there's something I'd definitely like to share with you. The fact of the matter is that after you resolved the kerfuffle with the super ancient Pokemon, a number of Pokemon never before recorded in the Hoenn region began to appear all over. Those Pokemon are precisely the subject of my many long years of research. They are Pokemon which are thought to have resided in the Hoenn thousands of years ago. We'll finally be able to meet Pokemon never before seen, the very Pokemon I've pursued all these years. I'm so excited, feel like I'm about to burst. So excited that I went right ahead and upgraded the Pokedex to be ready for them all. Now let me upgrade your Pokedex while you're here.
And the National Pokedex has now been added to Spooks' Pokedex.
You'll now find the National Pokedex on your Pokedex menu, so use it well. It is suggested that Hoenn is now more hospitable to Pokemon after that incident in Zootopolis. However, that does not necessarily mean the environment has become any more hospitable to humanity. People, Pokemon, and nature. Balance between these three great ecosystems has shifted greatly. I can't wait for you to start exploring this new world. Exploration may help us learn how best to coexist with Pokemon from this time forward. Hope you will find your own answers to this great question as you continue your journey with your Pokedex.
Okay, and with that being said, we now have the National Pokedex, being the final time so far that the National Dex is actually in a Pokemon game. Since, as you can see, we have up to 406 now, but you can see all the Pokedexes, which is pretty cool. So, obviously the Kanto Dex, the Johto Dex, and then we would go to the Hoenn Dex, and then obviously the Sinnoh Dex here, and then so on and so forth up to X and Y. But definitely pretty cool. Definitely gotta say that. But honestly, now that we have the Hoenn Dex, now we'll see Pokemon that you normally wouldn't see outside of that, which is pretty cool. And also, one thing that I don't think I grabbed... No, I did grab it in between. Okay. I wasn't sure if I grabbed the Mewtwoite in between episodes again, since I had to recatch the Kyogre, so I didn't get the Mewtwoite before. We got it... Well, we did grab it in episode, but the thing is I had to re-grab it in between episodes. Thankfully, I did re-grab it, but still, though, definitely would have made things a little unfortunate for us. But honestly, first things first is making our way right to 126. Since we don't have dive anymore, so we can't actually go back underwater with Swampert / Osborne anymore, so going to somewhere like Route 126 should make it a little bit easier to make it to where we want to go. Since Evergrande City, well, is a little bit of a swim away, for sure. But let's definitely prepare ourselves with a repel, though, since I think we're going to be running into quite a decent amount of trainers on our way over to where we're going. So let's definitely at least prepare that. But honestly, now that we got that all situated, only one place to go. And honestly, that one place is a decent little travel away. Also, I think this place is completely rocked off, so we actually need to go back this way, actually. But, yeah, now that we're actually officially making our way out of Zootopolis, it's definitely time to really prepare for the real challenge now, since, well, the Elite Four is really the real challenge here, so let's be honest here. The closer and closer we get, the faster and faster we're going to be having to deal with them, for sure. But honestly, just, getting there is definitely one thing, but, well, facing off them is a different thing entirely. But honestly, once we officially do get to Evergrande, it is definitely going to be something we need to be prepared for, is when we do finally, come face to face with the Elite Four. Actually, even I didn't have this tube. Even if I didn't have this tube, I could still swim. I'd be worried about, like, riptides and stuff like that, so even though you feel pretty safe out here, I wouldn't, say, like, you were super confident, because you gotta be very careful in the ocean sometimes, especially in deeper water where this kid is, since, although technically it is kind of near Evergrande, there's a waterfall right next to it, so the water's gotta be pretty rough around here, I would think, just in general. My tube got in the way. Well, you found out your tube was definitely not the best thing for you. Anything else from you, or is that it? My mom told me I have to bring my tube when I go swimming, so it can't be helped. Well, your mom's very smart for telling you that, because at least you got something to make sure that you stay afloat. For some reason, this tube looks like a donut. I wonder if it would be as delicious. No, rubber is not very tasty. It does look like a donut, though. You are very right there. But double love disc. Okay. Well, not a very dangerous Pokemon whatsoever. So, well, I didn't actually want to do Power-Up Punch there, but yeah, that ended up not working. I was thinking it was going to be enough to knock out a Love Disc, but I was wrong. I was very much wrong. So, Truant for us. For messing up, and it's going Sweet Kiss, so it's trying to confuse us now. Which is not really the best thing for slacking, actually. Especially with the fact that we just gave ourselves a +1 in attack. But thankfully we punched through the confusion anyways, but could have been bad. Really could have been bad. But thankfully, got pretty lucky there with the fact that we broke through the confusion. I'm hungry. Well, don't eat your donut. It's definitely not a real donut. I love donuts. I wonder if Pokemon do too. I would think so. They eat human food in the Pokemon universe, from what I've seen with Brock and everything. So, yeah, I would think so, yeah. Evergrande City is still a long ways away. Well, it depends. It's not that far away, but it is a decent, travel to get there for sure. Since it is literally another route on top of Victory Road that you have to go through, which is a little water canal, which definitely, makes a decent, distance between Evergrande and Sootopolis, since they are decently far away when you compare them on the map. But honestly, sorry there, bud. Your Starmie is far from anything dangerous, especially with Chain or slacking here. My first victory seems to be far away too. You haven't won yet? Well, I feel bad for you. I could have given you that win then. Anything else about that? My whole life has been about losing, but I will never give up. Jeez, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. But, oops, I guess. That's a little sad. I didn't realize that you was on a big lucid streak like that. But, there's Evergrande City. There's our big waterfall. I don't believe it. A surf pro like me can't climb a waterfall. What about you? The HM move Waterfall. Rumor has it that you can't use it unless you defeat the Sootopolis City gym leader Wallace. Rumor, true facts. Okay, well, now that we're actually here, thing is we need to immediately throw on Waterfall real quick. Since, now that we actually have Waterfall, we can actually make our way up. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about getting rid of moves, since we have an easy way of throwing Earthquake back on, since we have the TM for it. So, honestly, just throw on Waterfall real quick. And then, once we do officially go up here, we don't need to worry about Waterfall anymore. Since, well, technically not. We still need to worry about Waterfall, because it is an HM. But in order to get to Evergrande City, we don't have to worry about not having Waterfall now, since now we have the Eon Flute. But, curious if these guys say anything. I don't believe it. Oh no, same thing. Okay, I thought you were going to say, don't believe you went up the waterfall. But nope, they just repeat themselves. It was worth taking a look, though, since I thought they would change their dialogue, maybe. But, yeah, now that we're now officially at Evergrande, we're definitely on path towards the final challenge of our journey, really. Evergrande City, the paradise of flowers, the sea, and Pokemon. And that's definitely pretty true. But honestly, first things first is, probably going to be the best thing to do is go to the Pokemon Center to at least mark it down. Although, thing is though, well, there's only a Pokemon Center here. There actually is no Pokemart, so if you want any Max Repels, it's definitely best to leave and go grab some. But honestly, we're good on those, I think. But honestly, we'll say no for now, but we'll make our way up to Victory Road to at least make sure that we're good to, end things off, since I think we're definitely going to be preparing for Victory Road in the next episode, since, let's be honest here, Victory Road is its own beast. Although it's, this episode may be a shorter one. Let's be honest here, Victory Road's going to need to be its own episode because, well, Victory Roads in these games are actually very important to your story. It's your final challenge to the Elite Four. So, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one, and in the next episode we will be tackling the Victory Road, and after that episode, obviously the Elite Four after that, and the champion of the region. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.